Welcome back to Mojo Group. Mike here. Today we're going to check out two of the best entry-level twin-engine airplanes in the market, the Beechcraft Baron and the Cessna 310. Whether you're just excited about airplanes or you're a well-seasoned pilot, chances are when you get in the twin-engine arena, you are going to look at a Cessna 310 or a Beechcraft Baron as an airplane to own and fly. But wait, which is the better airplane to fly? The Beechcraft Baron or the Cessna 310? Let's go through the pros and cons and figure that out. To compare these two beautifully designed airplanes, we're going to look at our mission, the design of the aircraft, performance you're going to get out of it, the livability of the airplane, meaning what is it like to live with these birds every single day, and of course, the pricing. For your mission, you need an airplane that can go the distance and carry load. Starting with the Beechcraft Baron. This is a twin engine that can carry 4 passengers. You've got a single pilot and you have a max gross weight of 5,100 pounds. The useful load on the Beechcraft Baron is almost 2,000 pounds. And once you fill up the tanks, you have about 1,000 pounds to play with. What's more impressive about the Baron is that you can go the distance. This aircraft will travel up to 950 nautical miles. Depending on how long you can hold your bladder, this is an airplane you can sit in forever on a long distance flight. Well, so is the Cessna 310. The 310 also can go the distance at over 900 nautical miles. You can carry 4 passengers in the Cessna 310. Your gross weight is at 4,600 pounds, and you have a useful load of about 1,600 pounds. Now, the 310 is a smaller airplane, which also means that you have smaller tanks. So once you fill up the fuel tanks, you still have about 1,000 pounds to play with. Very identical to the Baron. For the mission, I'd say both these airplanes will fit the bill. Now the design. As they say, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Both the Beechcraft Baron and the Cessna 310 have your standard design when it comes to twin engine. You've got an engine sitting on each side of the wings, and you've got a nice sizable window cuts for each airplane. The Cessna 310 is a smaller airplane, and you can tell by the sheer size of it. I personally like the look of the 310 better. And if you see one of the 310s that we've covered on the channel, my God, this is one of the prettiest airplanes that I've ever seen. Both the inside and the outside are well finished, and I do like the tip tanks on this 310. You also have wing lockers. The Baron on the other side is also a well-designed airplane, so much so that Beechcraft have been producing these airplanes since the 60s. And unlike the 310, the Beechcraft Baron is still being produced today. Starting from the 55 model, and now you have the Baron 58 models. I don't love the look of the Baron because it has shorter wheelbase and you've got a much more swollen nose. The Baron is a bigger plane, so you have a fuselage that's stretched longer. Once this puppy gets in the air, it's quite pretty to look at. For the design, we'll give that to the 310. Now let's talk about the performance. When you're looking at a twin engine, or any airplanes for that matter, you want to know how fast can you go, how much fuel are you burning, how high can you fly, and how fast can you get up to that altitude. Well, in the Beechcraft Baron, you're cruising between 180 to 200 knots. And the sweet spot for this airplane is between 10,000 and 12,000 feet. As we mentioned, you have a range of 940 nautical miles, a flight ceiling of 19,700 feet, and your rate of climb to get up to altitude is about 1,600 feet per minute. To take off in the Baron, you need about 1,700 feet of runway, and when you're coming into land, you need about 1,900 feet of runway. The Beechcraft Baron is powered by a Continental IO 470 engine, and you've got a fuel capacity of 100 gallons or 136 gallons. At cruise speed, the Beechcraft Baron will burn anywhere from 27 gallons of fuel to 32 gallons of fuel per hour. Now let's check out the Cessna 310. This airplane will also move at 180 knots to 200 knots at altitude. Similar height ceiling at 20,000 feet, but you are climbing at 1,700 feet per minute to get up to altitude, and you have a range close to 1,000 miles. You also have a 100-gallon fuel capacity in the 310. And although you have several variations of this airplane, 310 model uses the same Continental IO engine, and at altitude, depending on your power settings, you will see fuel burn between 22 gallons and 28 gallons of fuel per hour, which gives the 310 a slight edge over the Beechcraft Baron. Now, let's discuss the livability of each of these airplanes. Keep in mind that one of the things that discourages pilots from going into a twin engine is because of the operational costs. It's one thing to buy an airplane, it's another to operate and maintain that airplane. While having two engines may be nice, it also means that you have two of everything to manage. So when it comes to maintenance, you've got two engines to maintain, throttle quadrant, mixture, prop, and the list goes on. Double the work, double the pay at the mechanic shop. And 100% of all twin engines comes with retractable landing gear, which means those also have to be inspected every single year. And if you use these planes for commercial flights, you have to inspect them every 100 hours. Like any other airplane, it's always important for a pilot to get to know the common problems of an aircraft before they purchase it. The Beechcraft Baron, for example, is well known for its problems with the landing gear. Issues with it retracting the Baron has caused quite a few accidents over the years. Unfortunately, this is by design, so make sure you keep this in mind when you're looking to purchase a Beechcraft Baron. When it comes to insurance, the rates are very decent on a Baron, partly because this is a highly produced airplane and Textron is still producing Beechcraft Barons today. So parts are readily available, and because so many of these airplanes still fly today, insurance may give you a break depending on your pilot qualifications and how many hours you have, particularly in the Beechcraft Baron. Another thing to consider when it comes to the Beechcraft Baron is your storage. If you decide to park your plane outside, it'd be cheaper, but it's not too great. Given the sheer size of the Baron, you probably need a bigger hangar than your average size T hangar. And so this is something to consider for pilots and owners. Now, the Cessna 310. As mentioned, this is one of the first entry-level twin engines all pilots can get into. But given our research, the 310 is known as a very heavy plane for beginner pilots. This is not an aircraft to just jump into. If you're new to multi-engine, more than likely you may be behind of the airplane if you're flying a 310. It is an aircraft that will keep you on your toes. Now, some of the common problems with the Cessna 310 is that this plane particularly suffers from corrosion. Corrosion on the wing spar. This means if you're in the market for a 310, make sure during the pre-buy inspection, this is checked out. Although 310s are no longer in production, Cessna still have parts readily available for these aircraft. Maintenance costs will be similar to all twin engines, but the 310 has been known to not break the bank when it comes to maintenance. Now, also keep in mind that your insurance costs may actually be lower with the 310, given that these planes generally cost less than a Baron, so you have a lower hull value. The Cessna 310 will fit in the standard T hangar, but it will be very tight. Now, how much will you shell out for any of these birds? If you're looking at a Beechcraft model from the 70s all the way to about 1980, you can find these for less than $300,000. Older Barons would trade anywhere from $200,000 to $350,000. The Cessna 310, on the other hand, can be found for even lower. Depending on the year model, you can find 310s as low as $120,000. But chances are you've got quite a bit of work to get that thing up to speed. Newer models of the 310 or ones that's been upgraded to modern avionics will likely cost you in the $300,000 range. Like this one. This is a 1974 310 that we featured on the channel, completely revamped, new paint, new interior, new prop, brand new avionics suite. A Cessna 310 this beautiful will cost you around $330,000. So whether you're in the market for a Beechcraft Baron or a Cessna 310, make sure you do your due diligence before you hop into any of these planes. More importantly, make sure you get the right pilot qualifications. And to do so, you can check out our flight program at lookupflightacademy.com. where we train pilots from 0 hours all the way to their commercial rating. We also have a state-of-the-art AATD flight simulator that can get you started on your multi-engine rating. If you'd like to know more, make sure you give us a call or send us an email at info@lookupflightacademy.com. Well, I hope you've enjoyed today's video. If you did, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If this is your first time, make sure you subscribe to Mojo Grip with the notification bell on. Thank you so much for spending time with me. Again, my name is Mike, and I will catch you on the next video.